In my opinion, you will sound more interesting if you vary your vocabulary. In my opinion, this is because using the same word or phrase repeatedly is boring for both yourself, the speaker, and for your listener. In my opinion, there's many ways in which you can say the same thing using different words or phrases. And in my opinion, that's why we have vocabulary. Okay, you get my drift. Hi there, I'm Ed Anguish from Speak English with Ed, where we help new ESOL speakers learn English to pass the CELT examinations. Today, we're going to be looking at varying your vocabulary, and we're going to be using the phrase, in my opinion. So, if you're ready, let's jump in and let me explain. The only way to learn is to talk. Now, that introduction was absolutely terrible. Why? Well, you just heard me say that what I'm telling you about, what I'm going to be telling you about is my opinion only. But I've used it all the time. I've used the same phrase over and over again, and it sounds boring and wooden. There were just too many repetitions of the phrase, in my opinion. But what does in my opinion mean? Well, opinion in the Cambridge Online Dictionary says it means a thought or a belief about something or somebody. So my introduction was telling you about what I think or believe about somebody or something. Now other people, they may have different ideas, thoughts and beliefs about what I'm talking about, but I'm saying what I'm telling you is mine, my thoughts, ideas and beliefs. Now the first sentence, that was perfectly fine. In my opinion, you will sound more interesting if you vary your vocabulary. That's fine. Now the second sentence starts again with in my opinion, and it goes on to explain why I have this opinion. But it doesn't sound good when you hear them together. Listen to them together. In my opinion, you will sound more interesting if you vary your vocabulary. In my opinion, this is because using the same word or phrase repeatedly is boring for both the speaker and the listener. Now I could have put the phrase in a different part of the sentence and said, this is because, in my opinion, and changed things around, and that would have been a little bit better. But it still doesn't sound right because we're still using the same phrase, in my opinion. So what could I have done to make it sound better? I could have used a different word or phrase that means the same thing. If we look again at the definition of opinion, we see that it says I think or I believe. So I could have said I think that or I believe that, and it would have sounded a lot better. Something like this. In my opinion, you will sound more interesting if you vary your vocabulary. I think this is because using the same word or phrase repeatedly is boring for both the speaker and the listener. Now that sounds a lot better. It flows much better. Or I could have said, in my opinion, you will sound more interesting if you vary your vocabulary. This is because I believe using the same word or phrase repeatedly is boring for both the speaker and the listener. Either of these works well. The third sentence also starts with in my opinion, but we're not stuck with using I think or I believe. There's other phrases that we can use, such as the way that I see it. Now this is saying the same as I think or I believe. We could use something like I understand that, or I realise that, or maybe, just maybe. Or we could use something like, if you want my honest opinion. We're still using opinion, but we're now adding a little bit saying where this is my honest opinion. Now the first, in my opinion, is naturally needed here because we're stating a fact. And we could say there are many ways that you can say the same thing using different words. And if you want my opinion, that's why we have vocabulary. Now that would be fine. And the whole introduction would sound something like this. In my opinion, you will sound more interesting if you vary your vocabulary. This is because I believe using the same word or phrase repeatedly is boring for both the speaker and the listener. There are many ways that you can say the same thing using different words. In my honest opinion, that's why we have vocabulary. There, that whole paragraph there, those 3 sentences together, they sound a lot better because we've varied the way that we're saying the same thing. Can you hear how much better that sounds? Now, it really is important to build your vocabulary. Listen to how other people build their conversations and how they vary the way that they say the same thing. Understanding the vocabulary and the correct use of vocabulary is one of the things that your examiner is listening for. So make sure that you can build up your list of understanding of vocabulary. Use a thesaurus to find out alternative ways of saying the same thing. You can find them online. So maybe you'd like to watch this video next, the present perfect tense. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.